Hello everyone, welcome to another Learning Live at HID Academy. My name is Rob Puricelli and I'm one of the instructional designers within the HI Academy team. Welcome to this live stream, which is going to be focusing on a subject that is probably dear to many of your hearts, hopefully, and it's about the things that you ought to be considering when selecting an ID card printer. I've got two guests with me who I'll introduce to you just shortly, but they'll be going through their top 10 considerations, and we've got a lot to cram into a short space of time. So let me just go through the general housekeeping things first of all. Don't forget to give the show a like if you enjoy what you're seeing, and if you haven't already, do subscribe to the HID Academy YouTube channel or sign up to follow the LinkedIn page where we're also broadcasting today. So hello to everyone watching in either of those platforms. So do make sure you subscribe, and also if you think you have any colleagues that might benefit from watching some of these, whether it's live or on catch up, then do share the link as far and wide as you feel is necessary. So don't forget to hit all of those buttons. That'd be great. Thank you very much indeed. If you have any questions that you want to ask myself or my two colleagues during the show, please do put them into the chat windows of your respective platforms, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube. We will see those questions come through and we will park them up, and we will deal with them towards the end of the show. But if you could make sure that you stick a big capital Q in front of that, just to make sure that we can differentiate that from a regular comment and we know it's a question that we need to address. And we will try and answer all of those questions for you on the show. But rest assured, if we can't answer it today, we will get an answer to you. If you think of something, if you're watching on catch up and you want to ask, or maybe you've watched the show live and you've had a thought a little bit later on, you can always contact us at training@hidglobal.com. That's our email address for the whole team. So if you want to send in your questions to that email address, a member of the team will be able to take care of that and get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't already, do sign up to the HID Academy Learning Center, which you can find at hidglobal.com/training. All the links are there. It's free to sign up. You get access to a wealth of content, depending on your business relationship with HID. If you're a customer or a partner, if you're technical support or sales, you will be able to access the relevant training that you require. So hidglobal.com/training. All of those links are, of course, in the description down below of this show. Right, I'm whizzing through because, I say, we have a lot to cover and a lot to cram in. So first of all, I'm going to bring in my two co-hosts. They're colleagues of mine from HID Academy. They are Will Louis and Nick Fleece, who are our secure issuance technical trainers for the Academy. Good afternoon, good evening, gentlemen. Or is it still morning in Texas? I don't know. What is the time there now?
Yeah, it's about 10:04 in the morning here.
Well, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome, gentlemen. How are you, Nick? You say you're over there in Texas, which is, of course, where HID Global's HQ is based. Are you far from HQ? I can never remember. Are you far from Austin?
Yeah, about 3 hours. So I'm about 3 hours north.
Cool, excellent. Is it all well with you over in the great state of Texas?
All is well up here. Yeah, so everything's good. Starting to get into summer, so it's getting hot.
Yes, indeed. It's very warm here in the UK, although we don't deal with it as well as you guys. And of course, we've got Will, who is on the other side of the world. He's in the future. What time is it over there in Hong Kong?
It's 11:05 p.m.
Wow, there's commitment.
Nighttime.
There's commitment. We'll try and get you into bed before midnight, okay? So if you are one of our secure issuance customers or partners, you'll probably recognize one of these guys, either from visiting them when they've been doing on-site training, or you might have dealt with them in the past. Their combined knowledge is immense, and that's why we've got them on the show to talk about our topic. And our topic today, as I said before, is top 10 considerations for selecting an ID card printer. So today's objective really is to enable you to narrow your selections and ultimately choose the best ID card printing solution to meet your organization's unique needs. And if you're not aware, Fargo is our brand for our card printers, and we also do all of the accessories and consumables around those as well. And we're going to be covering those elements because those will all play into your considerations. when you're making your choice. So we have got about another 25 minutes or so. So let's crack on, and we'll go straight into the first consideration to have, which Will is going to cover, and it's all about security. Will.
Yep, thank you. The first consideration is security because it is quite important for all of us, and because ID badges and cards often to be used to protect people and data. And for security side, we normally talk about two things. One is the card security, and another one is the printer security. For card security, we talk about something like, for example, we have a custom watermarks features or forensics panel printing features. And for printer security features, we can talk about AES 256 data encryptions. So these two make up the very good printers with a high security level.
Okay, so you said the first consideration there is security. Why is it so crucial to consider security when choosing your ID card printer?
Yeah, because if you do not have a high security printer, maybe there's a chance that someone gets your data from the print job, then they gather your data, and then maybe they take your ribbon or take your information from the cards. Then it is not secure, and then they will maybe will copy your data and do something on behalf of you. I think this is very important to have a high security card or printer. So I can give you some example about the security features. Just now I say about watermark, right? And watermark is something that is very useful for some DTC printer, like our DTC printer. We have a DTC 1500 that printer, and watermark use up the overlaid features, overlay panel to print out, and then it is no added cost, such as a custom watermark overlay option. This one you can just use overlay panel to print it out. Another one is the forensic panel, and the forensic panel is very useful for some colleagues who want to have add another layer of the security. Yes, correct, this one. So if you have a UV torch, you can print out a card with a UV panel. Then you can see that there's some hidden message to be printed, or hidden logos printed on the top of the PVC card. So this is also very, very useful for some card security features like this. And the last one should be the VSD. If you purchase a printer with the lamination unit, you can have something like over lamination, and VSD can be added on the top of the card and then make it more secure. Like you can see from the slide, we have lots of different security features in a holographic over laminate options.
Yeah. So there's plenty of options there. We've got morphing images, three-dimensional images, pseudo color, fine lines, microtext. So there's lots of options to have as little or as much security as you need. So obviously it's a very good consideration, probably the prime one in many people's cases for identification purposes and for other purposes where we need to make sure that card is 100% genuine. Brilliant. So security is our first consideration, and Will's just given us some great examples there. We're going to pass over to Nick now, who is going to talk to us about card durability, knowing how the card is going to be used and how long you can determine that level of durability. So what do we need to consider, Nick, when it comes to card durability?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Card durability is all about how long the issue credential will last and how they're going to withstand to various conditions. For example, if the cards will be used outdoors or swiped frequently, you'll want to consider laminating them or using high definition printing or HDP printing, which uses stronger or HDP printing technology, which uses an additional layer of film to kind of apply the image to the card. So using stronger materials like polyester or polycarbonate cards instead of PVC will help your cards last much longer. For example, an employee uses a badge every day, that badge can wear out quickly. But if it's made from tougher material, you won't need to replace it as often, saving both time and money.
Cool. So card durability, as you said, is all about kind of the frequency it's being used, the kind of conditions, I guess, that users are going to be working in? Is it going to be used just to get into a building, or is it going to be used for all sorts of different things? We have two types of printer technology in our main Fargo range. One is high definition printing, which is also known, I believe, as retransfer printing, and then we've got direct to card printing. So each of those offer various levels of durability.
Yeah, absolutely. And HDP, or as you called it, retransfer technology, as you can see on the image here, actually prints the image onto a film, and then that film is then transferred and instantly adhered to the card. So the film, this will help with a few things. It'll give you edge-to-edge printing, so it'll give you full card coverage. But the film also provides clear visual evidence if any tampering is attempted.
Right.
Additionally, retransfer printers, like the image on the right there that you can see, um, they they can be used to apply multiple layers of film to increase card durability without the need for lamination. So this is particularly useful for organizations that need long-lasting cards, but that want to avoid the extra cost and complexity of anything lamination might bring along.
Yeah. So I guess one good example of this is, for example, I look at my bank debit card, and that has, obviously that's got to last generally like 3-4 years, I think, in some cases. So that I know has a laminate, clear laminate coating on there. Plus, it's got the hologram layer and all this kind of stuff. But that's a great example because a bank wants that card to last the duration of the validity of the card, and so they're going to put these extra layers on. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool
And
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
also worth noting here that if you do choose to go with the lamination route, it is really, really recommended that we go with polyester or polycarbonate cards, just because of the amount of heat that'll be applied to that card. So the
That's a
stronger the
really, yeah.
card, the better it's going to be for lamination and retransfer printing.
Yeah, that's again. I think again another example is you take, say, your kind of your gym membership card is generally a thinner plastic, and it's not because it's not so important. I mean, it is important, but it's not as important, say, as a financial card. So, yeah, good stuff. Right, so that's card durability. We're going to bat it over back to Will,
Mhm.
who is now going to talk to us about card printing volume. Of course, some organizations are printing hundreds of cards a day, and maybe some are just doing a few a week. So I guess that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, correct. As it is also essential to estimate how many cards you produce and at what speed. And when you print a large volume printing, maybe some features like dual input hoppers or inline card personalization modules can help and productivity and efficiency. For instance, for example, university at the beginning of the year, maybe they have to print thousands of student ID cards at the start of the academic year.
Mm.
And high-speed printer will help a lot. It can prevent and avoid those long queues in front of the school entrance. That is really, really helpful.
Yeah. So you mentioned there the different kinds of hoppers, just in case there's anybody watching that's not entirely sure what a hopper is. These are the containers that hold the cards that are about to be printed, and the container that holds them once they've been printed, correct?
It's before it holds the cards before printed. So for drill input hopper, for example, they have top and bottoms. So for example, when you finish the top top hopper, then maybe you
Hmm.
need some time to change over. But if you have two hopper at the same time, you can put your blank card to the bottom part, and then after that, it will change over automatically to the bottom part. So it
Okay.
will have non-stop, or we can say that it's a changeover.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I guess the other thing that we need to consider when we're talking about card printing volume is the
Uh,
consumables that we use, yeah?
Yeah, correct. And also, we have recently we have a project, and you can show a slide that one. Actually, we have a project. We need really high speed printing, and also they need encoding at the same time. So if you separate all the job one by one, then it will take you a lot of time to do all the things. So, for example, we have HTTP 6600. We can put encoder, contactless or contact encoder into the printer. And at the same time, you can do the encoding and printing job at the same time. And also the printing speed of this printer is super fast. It can reach around 230 cards per hours. It is one of the fastest in the market. So with this printer and with the help of this printer, then we can switch the requirements for Adventure, this partner, this
Sure.
customer. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. So that's the HTP 6600 and Adventure.
Correct.
So check those out. Okay, so let's move swiftly on to the next one. Now, we had a bit of fun with this one in rehearsals. So Nick, it's over to you. Impress us now in how we talk about this section here. I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Rob. So the fourth consideration here is flexible interoperability.
Yes,
So,
you did it.
yeah, it took me a little bit of practice with that pronunciation, but we got it. But essentially, flexible interoperability refers to how well your ID printer integrates with other systems. For instance, like does it integrate with other physical access control systems? It's important to choose a printer from a provider that offers a full spectrum of interoperable security solutions. This ensures that your printer can work seamlessly with other technologies and enhance overall security infrastructure. For example, integrating your ID card system with an access control system can streamline operations and improve security by ensuring only authorized individuals can enter restricted or certain areas.
Cool. So we've got some examples here because nowadays, in this ever-changing, advancing world, people are using their credentials, whether it's card-based or in some cases mobile-based, for lots of different things. A single card can get you into a building. It can pay for your coffee at the vending machine. It can release your secure print jobs. So there's lots of different things you need to consider, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, flexible interoperability is just one of the many things we need to consider. But just as an example, imagine your company uses ID badges for both identification and access control. Rob, kind of like you mentioned just a second ago, flexible interoperability means you can put all of those on the card. If all those systems talk to one another, you only have to print that card once. You don't have to open up another app and rekey in information. Again, which if all the systems in the printer can talk to each other, this is just going to save time and it's going to reduce mistakes on the back end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Right. So we need to consider how our cards are going to be used and therefore choose the right printer that can cater for those functions and reduce the amount of times we're dealing with a single card for multiple things. Cool. And I have to take my hat off, mate. You used the term flexible interoperability numerous times flawlessly. We've had lots of giggles with that one. So well done. I think he deserves a pay rise. Right, let's move on to the next subject, which is, or the next consideration, modularity and scalability. Solutions should be modular because you can change things in and out, of course, and add features as you move and develop as a business. So Will, this one is for you.
Okay. Modularity and scalability means easy to upgrade or grow your business. That's what you should look for choosing top printer. You can pick a system with a basic features, and then later on, if your company grow, and then you can install or you can purchase some optional features for this printer. For example, you can look for printers at the beginning. This is a very basic, without anything, just a basic printer like a single side printer. And later on, if a project comes, then it leads you to print double side printing. Then you can buy the flipper, and afterwards maybe you can add some security features like VSE. Then you can add over lamination, that is the lamination unit. So you can buy from the beginning is the basic one, and then afterwards is the advanced features of the printer. Then it will help
Sure.
you to consider to buy a and it is also good for your company to grow because sometimes you have some new features that you want to add in. Then if your printers cannot support these kinds of features, then you will have a headache, and maybe at the time you have to buy new hardware.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what you're saying is that we should be looking at a printer that we can grow if we believe that growth is going to occur, rather than buy one that can't be adapted and moved on, because we're effectively protecting our return on investment. So you mentioned about adding on different features here. Here we've got one of our printers with some different configurations. Maybe you can just talk about what these add-ons do.
Okay, so for the left-hand side, this is our basic model for H3 5000E, and we have only single side and 100 card input hopper and nothing else. But in case you want to add something at the middle, in the middle you can see there's a flipper in the middle. Then you can flip the cards from top to bottom to print another side of the card. And the right-hand side is the lamination unit, so you can add VSE and holographic frame or holographic lamination patch to the card surface, so it can help you to create your financial card just now you mentioned. And the right hand side one is we have the input hopper with 200. We call it dual input hopper. Dual input hopper is 100 top and another 100 cards for the bottom. So you can see in the right hand side we have a tall one.
Yeah. So what we've seen there essentially is, you can purchase this single printer, and as time moves on and your business grows and develops and you need more functionality, you can keep the core printer and you're just buying the bits that you need to deliver that functionality. So it's modular and it protects your investment. So that's great. Brilliant. Thank you, Will. So we're going to move on to number 6 now, which is going to be taken by Nick. And this is ease of use and ongoing maintenance. Obviously, we want to make sure that these are simple, quick and easy to use, and also that we can maintain them over the long term, again, to protect that investment. So what do we need to consider with this then, Nick?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. So really what this boils down to is, are your printers easy to use and fix? This is important to know when choosing a card printer. So you're going to want to look for printers that give clear instructions on setup and maintenance. Really good printers also have built-in tools to help find and fix problems, like card jams or ribbon miscues or things along that nature. This helps keep things running smoothly and avoids delays in your organization. So, for example, a printer with simple software and clear guides can be used by staff with little to no training. So this frees up your IT team, so your IT team doesn't have to spend extra time helping. It's also important to look for when choosing a printer. Do they have service manuals? Do they have user guides? Do they have maybe somewhere online where you can get training at your own pace, or a YouTube channel? So here at HID, as Rob mentioned earlier, we have our training website at hidglobal.com/training. Go ahead and register for that, and you'll find a myriad of technical training modules, videos, and other things on our learning management system. And we also have a YouTube channel. So if you search for HID Academy in YouTube, you'll be able to pull up our channel, and this will give you, again, a plethora of playlists for all of our different products. So, for example, we're talking about the HDP 5000E. We'll have a playlist for the HDP 5000E showing you how to load consumables, set up the printer, and things along that nature.
Excellent. Okay, so that's good. Obviously, I'm hoping a lot of you are watching on the YouTube channel. You're already here, so go and have an explore of that. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, then after the show, do go and have a look at the channel. Take a subscription. It's free, and it just makes sure that you're notified every time we post new content. There's loads of stuff on there, and of course all of those videos are also replicated on the HID Academy Learning Center, where you can watch them individually or as part of a larger course or module. So make sure you go and sign up at the Academy Learning Center, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other training options that we offer a little bit later on. But before we do that, obviously one of the top considerations that we have for printing and printers is, of course, the cost and how long that they can be sustained for, and also their manufacture. So let's just bring there we go. So we want to make sure our card printers have got fewer resources, support green initiatives. So Will, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, when we talk about the cost, it's not only the cost of the printer, and cost and sustainability normally is hand in hand. So For example, there's some features can help you to save some costs for the operations. For example, cut rewritable features, and this is something that you may not know before. And actually, cut rewritable printings use thermal sensitive material that can be erased and rewritten for multiple times. For example,
Okay.
300 to 400 times. And this is very good features that you can find a printer to support this kind of cut rewritable features. And also you can find a printer, we have energy consumption, which is green. And also we have a ribbon can be refilled after you use up the ribbon, then you can refill it rather than you have to purchase the whole ribbon with all the cartridge and also the plastic that is waste. So this kind of things is quite useful for us to save the money.
Yeah, so we're talking about here about ribbon technology that before we used to have to change the whole thing, the cartridge and the
Yes.
ribbons. Now we can keep the cartridge and just replace the ribbon, so that saves a lot of plastic going into landfill.
Yep.
You mentioned wasteless lamination. So what
Wasteless
does wasteless lamination mean? What does it do?
Waste lamination is something interesting, and you can show a slide.
Yeah.
I have a slide for that one. For the right hand side of the pictures, you can see that actually the right hand side, that one, the purple one, we call it wasteless lamination or LMX. And it looks like a paper kitchen towel, and just you after you use up the patch, because that one is actually is a holographic patch on the top of the card. After you print on the card, attach it on the card, and it's gone. So for the whole piece, then you finish it, and then only one core will be left, just left. Yeah, just very different from what we have in the traditional one. The traditional one, normally after you use that, you will still have carrier, we still have two rows. Then it's cost you a lot of waste to dispose it in somewhere. So this is something very good, and also it can save the cost as well, because we can see the cost is around 30 to 40% lower than the original design, because of the cost of the plastic. And also for the left hand side, also another one is called refill ribbon. So after you finish the ribbon, you can refill it and then put it back into the cartridge, that one. So it can also save some cost.
Yeah, that's really good. So I guess if companies are looking to achieve, is it LEEDs building credits in the US and certainly the rest of the world, there's, is it ISO, I can't remember the number now, is it 14,001, I believe. If you're looking for those accreditations, these sort of things can really help your company get up to those standards and class themselves as green compliant. So brilliant. That's the consideration of cost and sustainability. We're rattling through. We've got a couple more, 2 or 3 more to go through. We're going to hand back over to Nick now, and we're going to talk about cloud-ready issuance, because cloud is a word that's bandied around a lot now. So how does cloud technology come into play with our printers?
Yeah, great. So if your organization or if your company is considering cloud-based issuance, you're going to want to ensure that your card printers are cloud compatible. So you're going to want to look for solutions that support issuing cards from anywhere using any device without needing any additional software. A cloud-based platform that integrates with, say, access control systems, maybe University One card systems, and allows for secure remote printing can really streamline operations and reduce costs. For example, a company with multiple locations can manage card issuance centrally, ensuring consistency and security across all their sites.
Okay. So, for example, somebody can, let's just bring this up. Somebody can have their picture taken in one place and the card printed in another location, or all these different ways of doing it. You don't have to have everything in one place, right?
That is correct. I mean, as long as obviously we have to have the cloud-based card printing software or system, which that'll be set up. We have that here at HID Global. That's going to be known as our HID Fargo Connect. And really, the main benefit of a cloud-based card printing system is it lets you print ID cards from anywhere using any device. You simply have to have an internet connection. You hit a web page or hit a URL, log in, and you can get started from there. Yeah. So the beauty of this is you don't need to install any extra software, which means less work for your IT team. And these systems also connect with tools, like I said earlier, access control, university one card systems, so everything works together smoothly.
Yeah.
No need to switch between apps, no need to double key in information. Plus, you can send print jobs to other locations securely without mailing cards or locking up the printer.
Okay.
So this saves money and keeps your cards safe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good system, that. Excellent. Okay, let's move on. We're going to stick with you, Nick, for this next one,
Okay.
which is quality and support. So obviously these are really important to make sure that when you buy a printer, you're going to be backed up by warranties and support and help and assistance. So what are you looking at here?
Yeah, so really when it comes to quality and support, it's critical for security solutions. So choosing products from ISO 9001 certified facilities and look for multiple year warranties on printers and important printer components. So, for example, a provider with a strong support network can address any issue, minimizing downtime and ensuring your card program runs efficiently and smoothly. I know Rob mentioned this earlier. We talked about it a little earlier. You want to make sure your provider has good user guides, good videos, tools for training. Well, another thing that HID also offers is Fargo authorized service provider training, as you can see on the screen there. So we typically give two of these free sessions per year per region. So we'll give 2 sessions in North America, 2 sessions in Latin America, 2 sessions in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and 2 sessions in the Asia Pacific region. Again, these are free of charge. You just have to pay your way to get there. We typically market these through our online training. And so please be sure to sign up for HID Academy so you can stay in the know about when these classes are being offered.
Mm-hmm.
And we also offer custom training. If the need comes and you need specific training for a specific product, we can also help provide that to you as well.
Cool stuff. And I've been, it was a little while ago, but I've been to one of these training sessions. You really get into it. You literally strip a printer down and then build it back up again. It's quite a fascinating thing. So I highly recommend those. And as Nick mentioned, if you sign up to the HID Academy Learning Center, you can go and check our calendar on there and check for those dates and times and locations of all of those events. But of course, if you're interested in any of those or even a custom session for your organization, training at hidglobal.com is the email address. Drop us a line in there and we'll take care of you. Okay, so that was, I believe, number 9. We are now at the very last consideration in our top 10 list, and we're going to move to Will for this one. Let me just make sure I get the right slide loaded up here. That's quality and support. We've just done that one. So here we go, partnering with a leader and innovator. And we don't mean to blow our own trumpet, but we're about to blow our own trumpet, I guess, Will.
Yep. Partnering with proven leader ensure you're getting innovative and reliable solutions, and find the partners. Find a company, find a leader. We treasure the partner a lot. It's really important for a customer to choose their partner. So, for example, HID is a long history. We have a long history and a very good reputation, and it also demonstrates the commitment to meeting the customer needs and also stay ahead in the industry. So additionally, to ensure the provider can support as many countries as possible, for example, more than hundreds, for example. So it can make it easy to find technical support anywhere in the world in your language. And lastly, choose a company that can provide a partner platform or even though our communities to gather some necessary information. For example, for this slide, you can see that we have a partner community, and that partner community can provide tools for the sales, marketing, technical, and other partner resources aspect. And for sales, you can allow the partners to download some resource kits for the Fargo printer. For marketing, you can upload your partner profile to our partner locator in our website. So for technical support, maybe, for example, you can download some technical bulletins from the platform to make sure that you can get the most updated information. So this is something that I think is very important for all our customer to find a good leader and find a good printer supplier.
Absolutely, and we hope that we tick all of those boxes, HID Global, with our Fargo product range. Okay, so they're the top 10 considerations. So as you can see, there's a lot to think about, and a lot of questions that you'll probably need to ask. If you want to ask those questions now in the chat, feel free to throw some in. We've had some in. I'll bring those in just a moment. But of course, don't forget that you can email us at training@hidglobal.com if you have any questions. Or, of course, you can go and speak to your local HID representative within the secure issuance part of HID. Let me just bring in a few questions because we're running out of time here. So we've had one question here that says, can we explain more about the benefits of using composite polyester or polycarbonate cards over PVC cards? I think, Nick, you mentioned this earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, so polyester or polycarbonate cards are stronger than regular PVC cards. So this just means that they don't crack or bend as easily, so they last longer and they don't need to be replaced as often. Like I mentioned earlier, this is really helpful that for cards that get used a lot or are exposed to tough conditions, because these materials also handle heat and pressure of retransfer printing a lot better. So maybe if you're using cards right now and you're noticing you send a card through your retransfer printer and then that card gets sent through a lamination module, you might notice a little bit of card warpage on the card. Mm-hmm. This is just because the quality of the card is not as good as it should be for the amount of heat and pressure that we're applying to it when it goes through the high definition printing process and the lamination process. Okay. So it's really highly recommended if you do use a laminator that you upgrade your card stock to stronger, more durable cards.
Fantastic. Okay, and we've had another question here. I think, Will, you probably are best to take this one. Let me just get this onto the screen. It says, I'm trying to choose the right printing technology for ID cards. Should I go with resin color or dye color? Which one is better?
Okay, this is really a debate. I can talk about this topic more than 1 hour, I think. But for resin color printing, and normally for resin, you know that resin is kind of pigment, and the pigment is stay on the card surface, and it is very good for printing something like barcode or QR code or something. So yeah, this is the one that I think is good for you. And the good thing is it's become reflective and also make very clear picture, clear text or sentences or QR code is very good. But for images, I would suggest you to use the dye sublimation. So dye sublimation is really, really good technologies to have the image printing, because all the image or the color will be absorbed by the PVC layer. So from the left hand side, you can see that it diffuses into the surface of the card. And also it produces smooth gradients, vibrant colors. And also it can avoid pixelized look for the resin printing that's in the right hand side. Mm-hmm. And I highly recommend you to use the dye sublimation. And at the same time, you can consider about the retransfer printing as well, because retransfer printing will add a protective layer. After you print the image, then you can have another frame on the because it's a retransfer. So it can give a little bit protective. It's a protective frame on the top of the card, so it can also help on the make the cards last longer, and also it's good for the security side as well.
Yeah, excellent. Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. Thank you very much indeed for that. So we've come to the end here. Just to recap, and we do have this document that you see here. The top 10 considerations are all listed there, so you can take a quick look at those and be reminded of what we discussed. Of course, you can come back and watch this broadcast as often as you wish on any of your platforms. There is also a white paper that you can download that talks about these very topics as well. You can download both of those documents. The links are below in the description of the video right here. So if you click on either of those links, you'll get those documents. I believe the white paper, you have to just input your email address to get access to the white paper. But other than that, these are freely available documents. And yeah, you can access all of that, and of course you can revisit this here. We just had a lovely little comment here from Julio. Can't wait to get these sessions in Latin America. Thanks for the presentation. Sir, you are very, very welcome, and thanks for watching. And also to Abdul, who's over there in Bangalore, India. Great to have you with us today, and to everyone else that's been watching. I hope you've enjoyed and benefited from that. We will be back soon with another live stream. I believe that it will probably be around our Trism software, because we've just updated that, and so I'm sure Mike is itching to come and tell you all about that. So if you're in the financial instant issuance business, then I believe that will be next on our calendar, and the best way to keep up with that is to subscribe to the channel, and you will be notified immediately when we schedule those. And we generally schedule those 4 to 6 weeks in advance of the actual shows, so you'll get plenty of warning. And of course, we announce it on the HID Academy Learning Center. Don't forget, you can email us, as I said, training@hidglobal.com. Drop us an email, and one of the team will get back to you soon with hopefully with an answer to your question. We always try and get an answer to you as soon as possible. And you can find all about the HID Academy at hidglobal.com/training. And you can sign up for the HID Academy Learning Center there as well, free of charge, and loads of content for you there. Gentlemen, Will and Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure. Great to see you as always. We live so far apart and work so far apart. I love these sessions because I get to see you and talk to you, and it's been great. Your knowledge is fantastic. So, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Rob and Nick.
You're more than welcome. And we will see you all same time, well, not the same time, but soon in the same place. Take care and thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.